Well, welcome back into the Atlanta Born and Brand studio. And today we've got Rhea with us.
Yes.
Hey, Rhea, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, we appreciate you coming.
Thanks for having me.
And we're excited to learn more about your business. I know we talked a little bit offline about you're sort of, one of these folks who's trying to really build the roots of your business in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
Which I know provides a lot of challenges. So we'll dive into that. But Rhea, first of all, we like to ask on the show to sort of open up. If you're on the street and you bump into somebody and they ask you, Rhea, what do you do? What's your quick kind of 30-second elevator pitch to them on the street?
About what I do. I own a company that delivers joy same day to people.
I love that.
Thank you.
And how did you come up with the name Attyre?
Oh, okay. So, I wanted to have a play on words with clothing and delivering, and attire as it stands is like that. There's the tire, it has the clothes in it, but I just wanted to change the way it looked a little bit, and added the Y, and that's how it came about.
Gotcha.
Yeah, very simple.
Yeah. Well, aside from delivering joy same day, which is important, and is a great icebreaker. Tell us a little bit about Attyre and what you guys specialize in and what your strengths are.
Okay, yeah. So Attyre is a same-day delivery service for online Atlanta-based retail businesses. We partner and power apparel, beauty, jewelry, and lifestyle companies with our delivery experience.
You got that one down.
Oh.
You practiced that one a time or two, haven't you?
Maybe. I think I perfected that on Clubhouse, because on Clubhouse you have to do a quick introduction, and so I've said that so many times. So yeah. Yeah.
Now I'm living the dad life hardcore and haven't dove into Clubhouse yet.
Okay.
Have you enjoyed your experience there?
I have.
Nice.
Overall, I have.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's the social media things that you deal with anywhere, but no, it's cool stuff. So, always evolving.
Yes.
As entrepreneurs, you got to keep sharp.
Yeah.
But all right. So tell me, first of all, how you got to Atlanta. I know we talked offline that you're actually from, is it, what do they call Arizona? Is it the Sunshine? Not the Sunshine State. That's Florida, right?
Oh, yeah. Sunshine State is Florida, which I have lived there. Arizona is the desert, the valley. Desert. Yeah, the valley.
Gotcha. How do you get from Arizona and ultimately find your way to Atlanta?
Okay. So born and raised in Arizona, in Phoenix. That's where all of my family is. And I stayed there for undergrad and decided that I wanted to move to Miami. And the easiest way for me to do that was to go to grad school in Miami. And so I did that and loved it. Best 2 years of my life. Well, one of the best 2 years of my life. And then I moved to Louisiana to go to grad school again at LSU. And enjoyed that experience as well, but then craved the big city feel. Phoenix, I missed being in Phoenix. I missed being in Miami, but I didn't want to live in either of those cities. Sure. And I love the South. So my journey has just been on the bottom. Yeah. And I cannot deal with cold weather at all. So Amen. I landed here in Atlanta, and this is where I want to keep my roots now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love Atlanta.
Tell me what you went to school for. What were you preparing for as you were going through school?
Okay, so in undergrad, I was preparing to be either a marriage counselor or a child psychologist. And so my undergraduate degree was in human and family development. And I just knew I was going to be a marriage counselor. No.
Pivot.
Yeah, a hard pivot. But while I was in school, I had an undergraduate job that was an academic coach. And so I got to help other students plan their academic journey, study skills, all that jazz, and really enjoyed it. And I remember at the time I asked my supervisor, okay, so I'm graduating soon. Can I just keep doing this? And she's like, no, it's kind of an undergraduate job. You gotta leave and do something else. And so, but she told me about something that I can do similar, but at a different level. And so I went to grad school to pursue that. And studied higher education administration. I love being at the college setting, so that's been my background. And so I decided to pursue my master's because at the time I knew that I wanted to stay working in higher ed, but wanted a high level position, so I had to pursue that. So then I decided to go over to LSU, and I obtained my PhD there in educational leadership and research, because at the time I was either going to be president of university or vice president of student affairs. That was it. You couldn't tell me anything different. And you couldn't pay me to do either of those positions. I love higher education, but it's just not really my jam anymore.
It's funny how certain we are of things in certain points of life, and then, it's just something clicks, and you're like, hey, it's something else. Yeah. But you know what? Tell me. I'm sure there are pieces of all of those experiences that you carry. That's the great thing about entrepreneurship is you can bring pretty much any experience into it and have that be applicable for you.
Yes. So I have appreciated picking up my little gems across my journey and applying that to life now. So it's been nice. Yeah.
And you got a few extra letters in front of your name. Yeah, that's nice.
That I will probably never use, and I'm okay with that.
Hey, it looks good on the website, though.
Oh, well,
it looks good on the website. Yeah, that's great. So you finish at LSU, and you finish your PhD. Do you come to Atlanta right after you finish your PhD?
Yeah, actually, I moved to Atlanta right as I was ending it. So I was finishing my dissertation while I was living in Atlanta, and then I went back for graduation, just for the weekend, and then came back. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And what's your first couple months in Atlanta look like? Had you taken another job, or what was your path?
Okay, I did take a job. Yeah. I moved to Atlanta with a job, and within 3 months, I had to let that job go. It just did not fit my personality at all, and I was okay with it. I had saved up a little money, and I was planning. I'm like, okay, well, I really need to finish writing my dissertation anyway. So, but then I quickly fell in love with the Atlanta party scene, night scene very quickly. And I just knew, I'm like, okay, I really love Atlanta, but I need to finish this degree. So I had to really hunker down and finish. But then after that, I did quite a few odd jobs. And so, yeah.
What's the moment or the process, maybe it's not a moment, where it starts to percolate in your brain, okay, maybe I just need to build this other thing and start really focusing my time on that and stop worrying about, working for somebody else.
So that actually didn't come until a few years later. So, actually earlier on, I did start a yoga business. It was called Fitual Lifestyle, and I wanted to bridge
catchy
fitness and spirituality.
Yeah.
It was a great experience, but I am sorry. I always laugh at myself with starting that business because I had no interest in ever becoming a yoga instructor at all. So, and then the flame just kind of died out because I knew I would always have to outsource the biggest part of the business.
Sure.
And so I just kind of let it go. But it was a great experience.
Yeah.
Years later, I circled back around the idea of entrepreneurship. So fun fact, I do have a full-time role at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
There's a program there called CreateX, and it helps students build entrepreneurial confidence.
Right.
And so I love it. I love the energy of the Georgia Tech students and those interested in startups. And so naturally, I caught the bug again.
Yeah.
And so I remember there was a point where my boyfriend and I, we thought of the idea, and then I was like, I don't know if I actually want to do that. It's a delivery company. It's not really sexy. And then I remember I couldn't stop thinking about it. And
sure.
I said, okay, let me just see what happens. And so here I am. And now this is literally all I think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and as soon as you create something from scratch, I think our brains just there's something different about how we think about that than we think about, working for somebody else.
Right.
And not to say that, people can't do both of those things effectively, because I think they can, and a lot of people do. But you just think about it a little differently. It keeps you up at night. You're thinking about it as soon as you wake up in the morning, and it's just a different, mindset in that for sure. It's funny because you are actually the second Georgia Tech employee we've had on the show in the last few weeks. I don't know if you know Baracola.
I do.
Yeah.
He doesn't know me, but I know
gotcha. Yeah. So he was on the show a couple weeks ago. So
okay, cool.
Georgia Tech representing on Atlanta Born and Brand. Yeah. But awesome.
He's actually done some work with CreateX.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. His products are way over my head. Don't understand completely how all of it works. I just know that it does. It does work, and it sounds pretty amazing.
Well, so that's how I feel talking with all of the students who have startups at Georgia Tech. I'm
sure.
like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the infrastructure for young folks who have startup ideas, especially in the tech space at Georgia Tech, is pretty incredible.
It is.
And so hopefully we kind of ride that wave over the next couple of decades in Atlanta of all these really cool tech startups being built in and around Georgia Tech. But awesome. So you said, I don't know if I want to do this delivery company, but what were the ideas that sparked Attyre in and of itself? What did you see that maybe you thought, okay, there's a lack of something here in the marketplace, or there's white space that I think we could really address?
Yeah. So I remember I remember when we actually thought of the idea, and then just sitting on it a little bit, I started to examine my own shopping habits, and I noticed that I was defaulting to Amazon for everything. Like anytime I needed something, okay, let's see what's on Amazon. And after a while, I'm like, okay, I don't know how I really feel about this, because there are alternatives to what's on Amazon right here in my community.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so the reason why I like Amazon, granted, you can find a lot more affordable things on Amazon, but what I like the most about it is how quickly I can get the item.
Sure.
So I said, okay, I know that I like to shop local. I love supporting the Atlanta community. But if it's the quickness that I like, if it's here, I can get it same day. Why not? And I do a lot of online shopping. And so just sitting with the idea and realizing that a lot of online businesses, their inventory is either at their homes, at an office location, or a warehouse facility. So it's not really a consumer-facing place. Yeah. And it doesn't mean that they don't want their customers to have their orders quicker. They just didn't have a means to do it.
Sure.
And so I said, okay, well, if I created a third party that could go between their home and their customer's home, why not? And so that's where we are.
That's
I
awesome.
added my personality on top of Attyre, and then now Attyre has its own personality.
Yeah. Kat, our producer, and I were literally just talking about this the other day about the convenience culture, especially in a pandemic where, all right, we don't want to go outside, we don't want to go to the store, but we need something quick.
Right.
But there's such a huge portion, especially in Atlanta, of people who really care about local business, and especially folks like us who are entrepreneurs ourselves. Like, if we can do something to help another entrepreneur, like, we're gonna do that.
Right.
So it's not a situation where you have to build something that rivals Amazon in scale to be successful, right? If you find that niche group of customers to start with that love local businesses, and love the fact that you can bridge that gap and provide, first of all, same day or quick delivery, and the convenience of not having to actually go to the place, because I'm that person who I'll go on Amazon and then if I find what I'm looking for and I see a price, I'll say, okay, where can I drive to today to buy that thing?
See, that's really good. A lot of people do the opposite. They'll see something online and it's like, okay, well, I wonder if I can get it cheaper on Amazon. And that takes a lot of resources from small businesses, from our community. And so I appreciate your approach, and I wish more people would do that.
Well, no, but I like what you're doing for the consumer, though, because you're sort of educating them on availability of products that maybe they wouldn't have even known. Right. You know, if they're familiar with your platform, but not these small businesses. So talk to me about sort of the onboarding process of getting local businesses who have this need onboarded into your platform, and what that's been like for you, what the response from people has been.
Okay. Yeah, it's been interesting. So initially I didn't have a shopping marketplace, and that's the route that I've always wanted to go into. I'm like, okay, I want to, of course, provide the same-day delivery for these businesses end user, but I also want a community of people that default to Attyre, come directly to our site to see what's available for same-day delivery. So right now, you can do that on the website. App pending. That's where I would like to go. So eventually, but we got to start where you are.
Yeah.
And so right now you can come onto the website, and there's a search option to search where you're looking for a dress or whatever it is. There's there, and you can see what company is offering that. So in terms of onboarding, tech-wise, it's literally me adding them to the website, and that that's pretty much it. But that's been cool. I have stepped up my tech skills a little bit. In a way that I never thought that I would. But
Listen, you went to school for who knows how many years.
I know.
A little coding or web development is not beyond you in the slightest, I'm sure. So, and I've seen your website too, so I know you've learned something, and you're definitely getting really good at it. So, talk to me about what are the friction points for you so far? What have been the challenges? Is it the onboarding piece? Is it the education piece of teaching customers that you exist? That piece that we all fight. What's been the friction for you?
So there's two, and you hit on both of them. One has been pre-pandemic, shopping online and getting your order same day. It's definitely a culture shift, and so it's a change in consumer behavior. So although someone shops online, they're shopping online because they don't necessarily need it right away.
Sure.
Because that hasn't existed.
Right.
So that has been it was discouraging in earlier on, but I knew that once I realized that, I'm like, okay, it's just going to take a little time, and that's okay. That doesn't mean to stop.
Yeah.
The other thing is my lack of tech skills. So right now, on the customer side, the shopper side, it's very seamless. They would click same-day delivery as if they're choosing any other shipping option.
Yeah.
But on the company side, it's an extra step. There's still a bit of a manual process for them, and that has been so frustrating because it's been difficult for me to scale because people don't want to do that extra step.
There's a training element involved in it. Yeah.
There is, and so I'm waiting for this plugin to hopefully get complete soon so that it's seamless for everybody. But that has been my biggest headache.
Sure.
Yeah.
So when you're onboarding a small business, do you typically encourage them, okay, pick a few select products to start off with, or is it, how quickly can we get your entire catalog in here? What's your strategy usually for them?
Yeah. So the good thing is we don't have access to their back end. So they can choose whatever products they want to offer for same day delivery, or if they want to have a certain price point, you have to, order X amount of products to have this option, or they can have every item on their website available for same day delivery. It's completely up to them and how they want the service to appear to their customers.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Thank you.
Love your product in general.
Thank you.
Tell me, so in my pseudo entrepreneurial mind, I'm thinking to myself now, okay, once you get the tech figured out, you iron out some of these friction points. This is something that, yes, you're building in Atlanta, but once you figure out, okay, there's a market for this, it's easy to use and it's efficient, you could literally launch and scale that anywhere.
Oh, that's the goal.
That's the goal.
That is indeed the goal. Yes.
Love it.
I do want Attyre to look and feel very different depending on the city that you're in.
Sure.
So Attyre in Atlanta, we are a local community, but there is a big part of Atlanta that is very much so lifestyle, luxury, glitz and glam, flexi.
Yep.
And that's what Attyre provides. So,
just roll down to Phipps Plaza right
yeah.
now.
Right.
You get all of that.
You get all of that.
Yeah.
So we do our deliveries with wine or champagne. Well, you can get wine or champagne with your deliveries.
Oh,
we
okay.
provide luxury samples in the delivery. The couriers are well dressed,
Sure.
sometimes in heels. We do provide that elevated experience.
Yeah.
But when we go to another city, and I'm just saying when, because it's going to happen,
Yeah.
I wanted to take on the personality of that city and feel
Right.
very, very local and homegrown to that city.
Well, and that can even manifest itself in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Like once when you scale yourself,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you scale delivery,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure delivery, like we said, in Buckhead
Mm-hmm.
could theoretically look much different than delivery in, Cabbagetown.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's true. That's true.
That can even kind
Yeah.
of, that tailored experience can
Mm-hmm.
even benefit you within markets,
Yeah.
not just in different markets.
Yeah, you're right.
That's cool.
Because there's so many different Atlantas, and that's what I love
Yes.
about Atlanta.
Yes.
So yeah, I didn't even consider that part.
Yeah.
Trying that out here. So thank you.
Well, no problem. That one's for free. Yeah, you just have to listen to the history of our podcast to know
Mm-hmm.
that I think what Atlanta has that's consistent is it's friendly to entrepreneurs. It's
is.
friendly to small business. More so recently probably than in years past. And it's friendly to so many different types of culture.
Yeah.
And so to be built here, I think, is a major advantage for you because you're going to learn those things, as you grow the business.
Yeah.
And probably when you end up in Phoenix and New York and in
Yes.
Chicago and LA, then you're going to have had all these experiences
Right.
sort of getting this thing off the ground in Atlanta that because we're also still a transient city,
Yeah,
where
we
people
are.
have come from all over the country and live here now. So that's really neat. So we've already dove into a little bit, but tell me about next steps, future. Okay. What are those things that are either on the horizon for you or long-term goals that keep you excited and keep you motivated to keep building?
Okay, so this is something that we just launched this week. So it has been something that I have been super excited about, and so I really want to see that grow and take shape, and then of course scaling into an app that that will grow into different markets.
Yeah.
But the new feature that we released is called the dressing room experience. And so if someone is in between sizes or wants to try on multiple things, when you're shopping online, specifically with clothes, when you're shopping online, the fit, the size, the feel, it's so uncertain. You don't know you don't know what is gonna show up at your door.
You're getting me excited already, Rhea. I know where this is going. Yes. You're getting me excited.
So we bring that to you.
Yeah.
We let you choose a size up or down in an item. We bring the items to you, let you try them on, and then you give the ill-fitting item back to your courier. We bring it back to the company, and then we celebrate the new member of your wardrobe with a bottle of wine or champagne. Yeah. And I'm just so excited about that. I think it's so cute. And it's definitely...
That's a game changer for small businesses
Yeah.
that literally they can't do online ordering because of for that reason. And you've eliminated that problem for them in that.
Yes.
Which is pretty amazing.
Yes. And then also the malls now during the pandemic, they have closed the dressing room. So it's difficult to try things on right now anyway.
Yeah.
So what better than to try it on at home?
Sure.
Yeah.
No, there's so many layers of that I think are really good because one, just your company in general, if you introduce somebody to a new local business that they enjoy, they'll use you as far as delivering items from that business again in the future, but they're also way more likely to say, okay, I want to go check out that shop.
Oh yeah.
And so for convenience purposes they may continue to use you, but if they're in the neighborhood of X shop that is a member of your platform, then they're going to stop in and say hey, and they're going to get to know that business owner, and they're going to feel even more of an attachment, which next time they need to make a new purchase, they're all the more likely to use that business again. So,
and you know what, there's only a few. The majority of the companies, though, that wouldn't be the case because they are home-based businesses.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But there are a few of them that have a storefront that we do provide the service for.
Yeah.
And also, we do provide samples in our deliveries. So we partner with a few small businesses, not necessarily Atlanta-based. They're from all over that have their samples included in our deliveries.
Yeah.
So it gives people an opportunity to experience multiple small businesses in one experience.
Well, and we haven't even really dove in yet to the opportunity you provide somebody to create a high-level luxury product without the cost or the need to have a storefront.
Yeah, that's true.
Which
yes.
I will tell you, not from experience, but just from knowing a little bit about the commercial real estate market in Atlanta. Finding space to lease, especially in an area that would be considered a luxury, a luxury part of town, is so expensive.
It is.
Prohibitively so for most creators and makers and designers.
Yeah.
So, and again, another segment of the entrepreneurial population that you're unlocking there.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Thank you.
And then what about 10 years down the road? What do you see Attyre looking like in 10 years?
Okay, so I see Attyre definitely in multiple cities. In 10 years, we may be global. Who knows? The sky's the limit. But now you've given me something to think about, because my mind stopped at having this app in multiple cities that mirrored that city. Now, from there, who knows what will happen after that?
Sure.
But that's where I capped at, and I didn't notice until you asked me that question that my mind capped. And so now I'm like, okay, Rhea, what's going to be after that?
We're opening
so thank
all
you for
kinds of
asking
doors
me
here
that
today
question.
On Atlanta Born and Brand. I love it.
Thank you.
That's awesome, Rhea. Well, I could sit here and talk to you for hours about this.
Yeah.
I want to be respectful of your time and the folks listening. But tell everybody where they can learn more about Attyre and where they can plug into your ecosystem.
Okay. So AttyreDelivery.com. Is the website. It's Attyre with a Y, Attyre, delivery.com. And then our Instagram, Attyre Delivery. That's probably the easiest way to connect with us. We are hiring couriers, so if anybody's looking for a part-time gig or, just a gig, to definitely tap in there. We are also accepting our Luxe sample partners, so small businesses with products. You can get your samples in our daily deliveries. And then, of course, we're always looking to bring on new retail partners.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's incredible.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for sharing your story, Rhea.
Thank you.
While higher ed may have been the direction you were aimed, it sounds like you're super passionate about what you're building here. So we're excited for you.
I appreciate that.
If there's any updates or any new news about Attyre, please let us know so we can share with your new family here at Atlanta Born and Brand. So,
thank you. I appreciate that.
Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.
Okay, thanks.
Well, that's it for today's show, guys. But I do want to remind you that Atlanta Born and Brand is brought to you by Connects Media. Connects Media is a full-service digital media company here to tell your story as a small business in whatever the best way possible. So if you would like to produce a podcast, or if you need a branding video or a commercial, we can help you with all those things. Check us out at connectatl.com. Also, if you're a fan of this show, don't forget to subscribe so you get all the latest episodes right to your device. Also, if you could leave a review or a rating, that certainly helps us get the word out there as well. But for Atlanta Born and Brand and Connects Media, I'm Jonathan Hilliard, and I'll see y'all soon.